today is all about Jeffrey Dahmer. I know, juicy. So get your comfy spot, get your favorite drink. I have some stories. And let's get going. Jeffrey was born May 21st, 1960 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to Lionel and Joyce Dahmer. Lionel's first wife. They divorced when Jeffrey was 18, and he went on to marry a woman named Sherry. Jeffrey's early life was full of social isolation and a fascination with death and taxidermy. Coming from a troubled childhood and a family dysfunction, Jeffrey had a younger brother named David. His criminal activity started with the murder of a hitchhiker and escalated over the years, by luring numerous men to his home where he drugged them, SA'd them, and ultimately dismembered them, often engaging in acts of necrophilia and cannibalism. On July 22, 1991, Milwaukee, Wisconsin police got Tracy Adams running down the street in handcuffs. And in investigation, they found one of the grotesque scenes in Jeffrey's apartment. Tracy told the police that Dahmer had held him at his apartment and threatened to kill him. They finally thought the story was unbelievable. They took him back to Jeffrey's apartment. Jeffrey calmly explained that the whole thing was a misunderstanding, and the police almost believed him, but they spotted a few Polaroid pictures of dismembered bodies, and Jeffrey was arrested, when his apartment was searched, a house of horrors was found. In addition, photo albums full of pictures of body parts. The apartment was littered with human remains. Several heads were found in the refrigerator and freezer. 2 skulls were found on top of the computer, and a 57-gallon drum contained several bodies decomposing, and chemicals was found in the corner of his bedroom. There was also evidence to suggest Jeffrey had been eating some of his victims. Jeffrey's neighbors told both detectives that they had noticed an awful smell coming from the apartment, but that Jeffrey would say it was expired meat. The most shocking thing about how Jeffrey had managed to hide his awful crimes in the middle of a busy apartment building would come a few days later. Apparently, police were called 2 months earlier about a naked and bleeding 14-year-old being chased down an alley by Jeffrey. The responding officers referred the boy, who had been drugged, to Jeffrey's apartment, where he was quickly killed. The police said they thought it was a domestic dispute and were later fired. A forensic investigation turned up 11 victims, the first of whom disappeared March of 1989, which was 2 months before Jeffrey successfully escaped apprehension for molesting a boy, telling the judge that he was really trying to change his behavior. Jeffrey confessed to 17 murders, going back to 1978 with his first victim. The jury threw out his insane defense, and Jeffrey was sentenced to 15 life sentences. He made it through an attempt on his life in July of 1994, but was eventually killed by another inmate on November 28, 1994. So what'd you think? Boy, he was pretty sick. What he did was astonishing. So, next up we have a true crime episode. It's going to be juicy. So, if you like hanging out with me, please hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget that bell so you don't miss an episode. Thank you for hanging out with me. I love and appreciate all of you. Have a great week. Keep it rocking, and I'll see you on the next Amy's View.